Hello everyone, it's Jack Cotton, luxury real estate expert, author, and agent. I'm here inside my beautiful, luxurious, but not overly ostentatious Cape Cod office. I want to talk to you a little bit about negotiation. I want to help you finish the quarter in a really strong way. So let's talk about some negotiation tactics. Now, when I say tactics, these are some that we may use and some that may be used against us. Not all of them are totally ethical and above board. So the reason I'm sharing them with you today is not so that you can use them necessarily, but so that you can recognize when they're being used against you and you cannot be thrown by them, not be taken aback by them, not be nonplussed by them, and you can not let them affect you or bother you and be able to move on. The most important thing when we talk about negotiation tactics, especially dirty tricks, is to separate the people from the tactic. So don't necessarily think the person is, what's the word I'm looking for? Ethically challenged, but just talk about the tactic. And I'm going to do this in two parts because I forget how many I have, like 8 or 10 of these, but we'll do it in two sections, starting with today. The first one is called the Wince. And this is where some people are really good at this. And the right person who's really mastered the ability to make this really awful look, it can really be intimidating, especially, of course, when you're dealing with them one-on-one. It's hard to wince over the phone. But anyway, you can be taken aback by this when you give a price opinion, you give your marketing plan, you give your commission charge, your marketing fee charge, and you get this look from the person. It can be a little bit intimidating, and you start to get defensive and backtrack. You just have to smile and just recognize it for what it is. It is a tactic, and don't let it work on you. And sometimes it's combined with number 2, which, is silence. And so sometimes you'll get the wince with silence together. And there's a quote here from this guy, I think he used to work at Time magazine, never forget the power of silence, that massively disconcerting pause that goes on and may at last induce the opponent to babble and backtrack nervously. That is exactly what you don't want to do, is to babble and backtrack nervously. Just sit there and smile. If it's on the telephone, just wait. It's awkward, it's strange, it's weird, but just sit there and wait. And if you want to break the silence, don't babble and backtrack. Just say something simple like, "Are you still there?" Or if you're really bold, you could say, "Is this the silent treatment you're using on me?" That's a little bit flippant, but anyway, just ask if the connection is still good, and if they're still there, have I lost your connection? Number 3 is the good guy, bad guy routine. A lot of couples use this. The way to avoid the good guy, bad guy routine is harder to do when both parties are there. Obviously, when you watch, Columbo or any police shows on TV, the old police shows, they always do the bad guy, good guy routine where they were together. But most couples, most people in real estate aren't that versed and practiced in it, so they do it better when it's over the phone or when the other person isn't there. You better not let my husband find out about that commission rate, So anyway, just recognize it for what it is, the bad guy, good guy routine. The best way to overcome this in luxury real estate is to always have all parties to a transaction present when you are negotiating or presenting with them and to them. Okay, number 4 is the limited authority. This one cracks me up because husbands do this all the time. Well, I have to check with my wife first before I can agree to this. Blame the spouse. And what I've also noticed is that husbands who blame the spouse or need their authority to make a decision are typically the same guys who never ask them anything about anything. They just do it. But when it's time to negotiate, they'll always blame the spouse. So again, having all parties present is the best way to overcome that one. I think our final one from today is limited authority. I love to be able to say, well, my manager won't let me do that. But the best limited authority thing you can do that's an ethical tactic is to have, for example, your marketing fee, pre-printed in your listing agreement. By having a blank space where the marketing fee goes, you're inviting negotiation. If you're like a sheep asking to be eaten. So don't do that. Pre-print your fee in the form. So the bottom line is, don't use dirty tricks, but certainly recognize them, because when they're used on you out of the blue, they can be intimidating and they can get you to do things you would not otherwise ordinarily do. So don't be intimidated by them, just recognize them. I'll cover a few more next time. In the meantime, we can talk all about this stuff on the first Tuesday of every month live at luxuryrealestateunplugged.com. Go to the site, check it out. Until then, make it a great week.